Hello, listeners. You're listening to the Wolfe and Thorn podcast. It's great to have you back again. What a lovely, auspicious day it is for the Australian peoples. We took a big lurch to the left last night, in case you didn't realise. Oh, by the way, my name is CC Thornley, and I play banjo.
And I'm Emily Wolfe, and I play violin.
That was a bit of a moronic introduction, wasn't it?
Just following it.
Our very special guests in the studio this evening. We have Mr. Jalen Sutcliffe.
Oh my God, a round of applause, everybody. Woo! Thank you.
Jalen Sutcliffe, we'll get more into who Jalen is and what he does in just a minute, because we've got another special guest on the other side of the studio, and his name is Mr. Paul Sharp.
Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, whenever you're listening to this lovely podcast.
It covers about everything. Now, Paul Sharp, you are the bass player for the Black Swans of Trespass.
Yes, that is correct.
Very good. We've mentioned your name and referred to you quite a bit. We've never actually had you in the flesh.
Hey, hope it's been good things.
Well, more or less.
Yeah, you should go back and listen.
Yeah, except don't listen to episode 7 or episode 5.
No worries, I'll keep that in mind. I want to maintain my sensibilities.
But over on the other side, we have Jalen Sutcliffe. How are you?
I'm very well. Very good.
You're not a whereas these two are Tasmanians. You're not a Tasmanian.
No, I'm not. I'm originally from Townsville, up in far north Queensland.
Right on. And what are you doing down here?
I'm in my last semester at the University of Tasmania down here, studying at the Con. So studying Bachelor in Music and hoping to be done and dusted with that, and then I can see what else this world has in store for me.
Are you gonna stick around? Do you like Tasmania?
I think
you better say yes, because there's a lot of Tasmanians.
I love it.
No, you can tell the truth.
I love it so much.
The truth is, the Tasmanian is the smallest audience we have for this podcast, so you can slag them right off. Yeah.
No, I love it. I do love it down here.
Yeah, what do you like about it? What's the difference between here and Townsville?
The people are a lot nicer.
Serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you get a few, there's a few good people back up home, but I think, yes, it's a lot nicer down here. And the weather, the climate.
Do you like the climate here?
I love the climate.
Really?
Yeah,
I
right.
don't sweat as much as I would back home.
Because most Queenslanders, that's their biggest gripe, is the cold.
I love the cold weather.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's meant to be.
It's good. It is. I might be here forever. Yeah.
So you and I went to the Con together, and that's where I met you.
Yes.
Yeah. And I thought, when I first saw you sing, I thought, I'm going to poach this guy. He's pretty good. I've got an idea. And so I started up a reggae band with banjo, and the idea was to have because I was right into Jamaican banjo at the time, and I thought I want to play these modern reggae songs on a banjo instead of a guitar, or with the full band, but I need a top-notch singer who can belt it out. And so I got you into singing in the Mentolists.
Yes, you did.
Had you had much experience with that sort of music before?
Not really. Kind of just like growing up, we would just listen to just the main guys like Bob Marley and the Wailers and all those types of cats. So being immersed in it was something that I hadn't had the chance to properly take in and everything like that. So no, it was really good. Something different besides singing like gospel music and soul music, and so it was cool to kind of immerse myself in that world.
And what's your normal bag of music?
Motown and soul is definitely where my roots are.
Right.
Gospel, that's kind of where my upbringing was, and R&B music and all that type of stuff. So any chance I get to sing stuff outside of it and have a dip at it, I love it.
And how do you find playing with a banjo, like singing with a banjo as one of the principal instruments?
It was good.
You like it? You don't think it's weird?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Really? What do you like about it?
Best banjo player in the world.
Don't flatter him too much.
Yeah.
Got to do it in,
Enough
little
about
bits.
me. Let's talk about you. What do you think of me?
That's really why he wanted you on the podcast, really. Just, stroke his beard, mate. Really. Just go, yes, tell me how great I am. Wow, Carl. You're so lovely.
But
greedy banjo player.
Between banjo and fiddle, which do you think is the best?
I'm more of a singer myself, so
probably best not to answer that question.
I do love the bass.
Yeah, the bass.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the bass.
Yeah, even I love the bass.
Well, folks, that's the end of our podcast today.
We're going to have a band meeting and rethink some things.
There's some re-education has to happen. But No, but I ask you these questions about, in all seriousness, about banjo, because usually it gets relegated to the bluegrass and the folky stuff. But when I say people I play reggae in a reggae band, it takes them a while to compute. And you coming new to reggae and having your first experience through a 5-string banjo in that genre, I'm just curious about that, how that feels from the outside. Because for me it feels normal, but for other people I know it looks really weird. When we play it goes off. We have been one of, like, this band's been super successful. And I think a large part of that's because of you.
Because collectively.
Yeah. But we put you up the front for a reason. Not just to hide behind you.
I've seen your suit, man.
I can't do it without you.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. But what other credits have you got? Because I know you've done some acting and you've done theatre.
Yeah, so I was I got to write and act in black comedy. So the final season of black comedy. So I was in that.
Right.
Which was quite exciting.
Awesome.
Thank you. Did that. I've been in lucky enough to be in Rosehaven. Kind of have my little moments of
and he was bloody
fame
good in that too. My favourite scene, I've told you this before, but my favourite one was the one where you're going for the house interview and you say, "Do you mind if I vape?" That's so
I've
beautiful.
never vaped in my life.
I know.
When they're like, "Can you say this?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do that."
That was beautiful. What was it like working with those guys?
It was unreal. Like, just to kind of, because I got a taste of it with black comedy. So having to come in and just know my stuff and everything like that was a little bit daunting at first, because, like, especially like in the comedy world, both of those, is it Luke McGregor?
Luke McGregor, yeah.
Yep. And Celia.
Yeah. Celia Paquin?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know who she is. I know what she looks like.
It's a hard last name to
Paqual.
pronounce.
Paquali?
No idea. We should have probably researched that.
We should have researched pretty much every episode we've ever done.
If you hear this, Celia, we're sorry.
We're very sorry, Cecilia,
for butchering your last name.
Love your work. I mean, you look great.
But yeah, no, it was amazing just to kind of see how they worked outside of stand-up comedy and
really,
what it's like for them to be just in front of a screen and in front of the cameras and stuff. So,
so that's the Rosehaven's like a narrative show, whereas black comedy's a sketch show. So what's the difference there for the producing?
It was so the sketch comedy side of things, it was more so like, all right, this is the feel we're going for, kind of stay in this realm and stick to the script, or whatever kind of comes to you, just do it and we'll see where it goes from there. Because I guess some things for sketch comedy is all on the fly and off the cuff. So it was interesting doing that and then switching over to just sticking to script and being like, all right, you just need to come in here, do this, do that, and then all right, camera off, camera A, camera B, do this, do that. Wow. So yeah, it was an interesting flip up, but it was good.
Yeah, right. Awesome. Like we do with every podcast, we're going to play 5 songs in a second.
Oh, nice.
Now, we guarantee everyone, every podcast, we play 5 songs live in the studio. Now, I did put this in the email, but I'm going to get you to sing 5 songs with us of your favourite reggae ones that we normally do with the Mentolists.
No worries.
Not right now.
Doesn't look nervous at all.
I know.
He's totally calm.
Mr. Sharp, Mr. Paul Sharp. Now, how are you?
I'm pretty good today, actually.
Excellent. So you're a Tasmanian from way back.
Yes, I was originally born in Victoria, but came down when I was about 3. So
right.
I've earned my local stripes by now, I think.
Yeah, right. Just. I reckon.
And you went to the con too, and that's where we met.
Yes.
Yeah. What was your musical background there?
Before I went to the conservatorium, I mostly played a lot of metal, lots of death metal, lots of progressive metal, that sort of thing, right. And always looking to branch out into other genres as well. I mean, I've done my time in the local cover bands, playing the usual pub rock sort of thing, and wanted to educate myself a bit more and, learn a bit more about the scene.
Yeah, right. And has you've been? I know you've played with me with a lot of different genres. Yeah, has that been the most different genres you've played in?
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, like, when we started in funk band.
Yeah, we did.
That was probably the first time I played with you.
Yeah.
That was, and then, we've done reggae, we've done folk, we've done blues, we've done bush dance music, all that sort of stuff. So, right. Definitely been a wide and varied palette.
Are there any of those genres you like more than the others? Are there any of those genres you hate more than the others?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just happy to play, really. That's what it comes down to. I'm just happy to be playing anything, really. But I really do love playing the reggae. That's really good. And it's taught me a lot about sitting in groove a lot more than I was used to, definitely from the metal stage, where there's not really a lot of groove. It's just more balls to the walls, full throttle.
Yeah, right. Before you'd met, I just want to talk about me again for a second. But before you'd met me, this banjo player, had you had much exposure to reggae before?
A little bit. I'd spent a fair amount of time in kind of smoky basements, if you know what I mean. There's always a lot of reggae.
Smoky basements?
Smoky basements. Those sort of places where reggae is a common sort of...
Do you mean by smoky basements, are you meaning bong dens?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, just so to make sure.
Yeah.
We're on the same level.
Reggae is a popular genre to stoners, if you didn't know, if you weren't aware of that.
It is.
You had an idea.
Yeah. And what was your? I just want to. I don't mean to go on about myself. I mean, Emily, you can chime in any minute you like.
No, I'll let you have your moments.
Well, it's just this one little thing. There's just this one thing that I'm hung up on. You see, because as you know, it's been my life.
Only
mission.
one? You sure?
Well, this is the main one at the
Okay,
the one ongoing current concern at the moment.
Yes.
Now that we've won the election and the lefties are in.
Yep.
The one thing I'm curious about is, so my life's mission has been to insert or to reintroduce banjo back into Jamaican music. Not that I have any right to do that at all, being that I'm not in any way Jamaican and I also play banjo. But being a big fan of mento Jamaican banjo, and all I listen to is reggae and ska. What was your perception of a banjo player bringing you to this music, or being, getting into this music that heavily?
Well, you'd already kind of won my trust in that regard, because from the funk band thing, like I remember rocking up in our first lesson, who's in the band, and they say, we've got a banjo player, and I'm like, oh, alright. Let's see how banjo goes in a funk band. But then, you nailed it. I've certainly never heard a banjo sound as funky as that. So from that, like when he said, let's do reggae, I'm like, well, cool. Yeah, right. And then, he showed me a lot of the mento as well in the lead up to that as well, which of course does feature banjo quite heavily as well, so... Yeah, I was pretty okay with it.
Yeah, cool.
I feel like I missed out on being at the con at the same time as you lot.
Yeah, you
I think
did.
I think I was a year.
It was the year to be there. It was the best times.
Well, my year was pretty damn good too, but I think I was a year front, or at least 2 years, a bit more.
Well, you kind of are in the funk ensemble, because it was Jack Lester and yourself and me.
It was true.
And I remember turning around in funk band at one point and saying, hey, this feels pretty... I think that was with a couple of other guys as well. I said, look, this feels pretty good. Let's go and get a gig. And then resurrected the Black Swans because it had all the infrastructure. But we are the funkiest folk band, I think. So
Definitely.
I don't know what you think.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Funkiest folk band or the folkiest funk band?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is a great question, Mr. Sharp.
I think my favourite thing with the instrumentation with Swans and with the stuff we do in Mentos is actually just breaking down those stereotypes, being our instrumentation. Because even when I went to the con and wanted to do contemporary, everyone was like, oh, how are you going to do that? There's no one to teach you, which there wasn't anyone, like no violin.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you going to do it? It's like, well, I don't know. I just work it out. I was committed enough.
It's about
and when I switched, it was like the best choice ever. Yeah. And then I've done like heaps of different genres in doing that. And it's definitely pushing down those barriers. So it's not just like a fiddle, not just classical, like doing lots of other genres and, showing that it can do it and do it well. Really.
It's kind of weird because this podcast is the Wolfe and Thorn podcast, where previously we have focused on those stereotypes, on fiddle and banjo doing traditional music. But this is like a window into the other side, folks.
Yeah.
This is what happens after dark.
And it's kind of nice with Swan, and particularly, I always love it when we do any Swans gigs, because everyone, when they see because you play with your electric banjo, and everyone's like, oh, what's this? And then they see your fiddle, it's like, oh,
guitar is that?
But when they see the fiddle,
no, it's a guitar. Oh, is it? Is it really?
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Because I bought it. The guy sold it to me. He said it was a banjo, but now you've informed me it's a guitar.
Yeah, it's
Thank
funny.
so
And some people even come up and like touch it. It's like, is it real?
Yeah, why?
Like,
don't touch me. Oh, some people come up and stroke my beard.
Really? That's weird. But I think also
hygienic as well.
But I think when they see the violin and banjo, I think instantly people think it's country or bluegrassy, and it's like, no, it's actually not that. And then when we play and bust out, like, like some Don Drummond stuff or the
Yeah.
Easy Skanking, whatever that one.
Augustus Pablo.
Augustus, that dude. And then we bust out some Libertang where everyone's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I like that. I like people keeping on their toes.
Yeah.
To be like, you never know what we're going to do next because we have the skills,
Yeah.
to do it. So
Oh, we have the skills to do it, she says.
don't assume.
I thought I was the egotist in this band.
No, I definitely have the skills. Definitely have the skills.
Well, look, we've had a bit of a chat. You know who you're talking to now. You know who's on the podcast at the moment. It's Jalen Sutcliffe and Paul Sharp. But why don't we play a tune?
Do that.
That's what we're here for. Jalen's going to bust one out.
Jalen's actually going to sing for us. You're going to hear this guy's incredible voice and figure out what the legend's all about. And all the
I
hype.
hope it's good.
So do I. But just remember, folks, this podcast is for free, so you're not getting your money back.
That's right. If you don't like it, well, we can't do anything about it.
But if you do like it,
Yeah.
you can always go and buy. There's many things you can do. You can tell people about us. You can go and buy the Wolfe and Thorn album, or you can pop on over to the other side of Bandcamp and have a look at the Black Swans of Trespass stuff. There's a old Mentolist demo tape, but I don't think that has Jalen on it. That was before Jalen joined. That was when we were just proving the concept to say, can banjo, ska, and reggae? And the answer was almost. If we just did this. Anyway, should we sing a song?
Yes. What are we going to do? What's first?
Well, Sotomasagana.
All right.
So we're going to... I know we're going to get a copyright strike off YouTube for this, but who cares? But this is a song from the 1976 album, The Abyssinians, called Sotomasagana, which is one of my all-time favourite reggae tunes. And this is also available on YouTube. You get to see Jalen singing this song live with a thing we did during the COVID lockdown. We went into a little club here.
That
was
safely.
That was
Safely
closed.
went in.
Yeah. We got the
Hygienically
keys.
went in.
We snuck in. There was no public involved. And we recorded these songs with Jalen and Shanice McLean
Yes.
and Rudy
Yes.
as well. And we did 3 other tunes with this format you're going to see now. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Big on the bass.
Paul's just going to pick up his bass. I'm just going to go this on my banjo. This is not Tasmanian music, folks.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was Sadomasagana.
Are you ready?
Sure.
There is a land far, far away where there's no night, there's only day. Look into the book of life and you will see that there's a land far, far away. That there's a land far, far away. The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords sits upon his throne and he rules us all. Look into the book of life and you will see that he rules us all. That he rules us all. There is a land far, far away where there's no night, there's only day. Look into the book of life and you will see that there's a land far, far away. That there's a land far, far away. Sata Masigana, ooh, lagi. Sata Masigana,
That was Sotomasagana,
Nice.
played by Emily Wolfe on fiddle, Paul Sharp on bass, yours truly on banjo, and the legendary Jalen Sutcliffe on the vocals.
Nice.
Let me just squeeze my microphone because it's sagging. Gotcha. All right, cool. I can edit that out, yeah? What's going on here? This will just take a second.
Sort yourself out.
Oh, God. Maybe we shouldn't do the podcast for free. We'll get better gear. There we go. That's better.
That's better. I'll stay.
Do you like that song?
I do.
What do you like about it?
Just the straight vocal of it is very like it's just powerful.
Yeah.
There's I don't know, when I hear it, like there's for me it feels like there's power behind it, and it's just like just straight power, you know. It's not really, the vocals aren't really swung, or they're not, it feels like they're behind, but they're just pushing straight through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like the I don't know, I just, that and just like reggae now is just like a whole, it feels
so the thing about reggae and a lot of that Rasta stuff, it's very heavy on the spiritual lyrics. Are you Christian or anything like that, or anything in the background?
So I was brought up in the Seventh Day Adventist.
Oh yeah.
So my grandparents, and some of my family are all SDA. So I grew up in church and going to church with them, and so I think that's where I guess the spiritual side of course, with as well as being First Nations, but the whole church side of things and that whole spiritual meaning of stuff on that side kind of comes from that upbringing.
Do the reggae lyrics, when we're singing about that deep Rasta stuff, does that sit with you well, or does that challenge you in any way, or how do you respond to those? Is it more just like singing gospel music in a way? Yeah,
it kind of is just singing. It feels like I'm just singing gospel music, in reggae. But I guess, I don't know, looking at a lot of things now, it all preaches the same message and the same story behind it all, and it's all kind of the same thing, just said differently in religions and upbringings, I guess. But it's all kind of got the same message behind it in a way. So
right.
Nice.
One love, as they say in the classics. Yeah. Should we do another one?
Yeah, let's do another one.
All right.
Look,
I hope you're okay with us straying a little bit from the content descriptor.
Yeah, hold in there.
Hang in there.
In there.
We're not playing trad Tassie stuff. This is copyright strikeable reggae.
YouTube's going to love us.
Yeah.
That's okay.
What song would you like to do next?
Shall we do Rudy?
Yeah, Rudy.
Message to Rudy?
Message to Rudy, originally by Danny Livingston.
Yep.
But made famous by the Mentolists.
Oh, yes.
Sure, take all that credit. Why not? Just keep waiting.
No, I think it was the Specials, wasn't it? Yeah. The Specials made it popular.
Yes.
So the Mentolists, with the band, if you want to know more about that band, folks, speaking directly to you guys in radio, it's Mento. It's not Mentolist. It's Mentolist because the idea was we're resurrecting Mento music and modernising it. So we're the Mentolists, not the Mentalists.
Yep.
In which my phone keeps correcting on me.
Gotta love that autocorrect.
So if you want to know more about that, if you're in the Hobart region, just look it up. You'll find it. A search for anything will get you something, I'm
When's
sure.
your guys' next gig?
I don't know. Oh, Dark Mofo.
Is that and Midwinter Festival?
And Midwinter Festival in
July.
July, which is... So don't confuse... If you're new to Tasmania, don't confuse Dark Mofo with the Huon Midwinter Midwinter Festival.
Completely different.
2 different events.
Yeah. Very similar.
2 different locations too.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a mess up if you go to
so
the
one of
wrong
them is for one of them is for the folks in the mainland. You come down, you get the David Walsh luxury Tesla thing.
Right on the scooter, you know.
And then when you guys go home, we sneak down the valley and have a private one with us. It's not really private, but it's small.
And we burn big...
we'll burn people. Burn things.
No, not burn people, burn things.
Burn a guy.
Yeah, that was last year,
big
wasn't
willy.
it? That was my first
Yeah.
experience with
weirdo, freaky...
Well, it's pagan. It's
it tripped me out, and
Really?
I wasn't even tripping on anything. So.
Yeah, because that's interesting because you had the Seventh-day Adventist background. Because my background was kind of like that. That was what I like, freaks and hippies and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And doing that sort of thing, and also being as we every episode we discover that I'm an astrologer. We drive that down people's throats.
Yes, you tell you that every time.
Which I got from being a freaky deaky counterculture person, and that was your first experience. I remember sitting there just going.
I was in shock. I
Really?
and I was trying to, because like usually in situations like that, black people try to look for other black people, but I couldn't find any. So I was like,
oh no!
Like, I'm out here in the bush with all these white people, and they're burning stuff.
And
they have these fire sticks, and I was like, I don't know,
and
what's
weird
gonna
costumes,
happen, walking around with like their faces painted, and like
you did well,
and they're just drunk on cider.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, if I just stay calm and blend in with the
you did
crowd.
well, man.
But it was interesting. It was a good experience.
Jeez.
It was fun. It was fun. There was good food.
I mean, the first time I played for that, it was a bit more loose than that because it's gone on for 8 years, and I played for every one of them so far.
Oh wow!
So I saw Marcus last night, who builds the Big Willy.
Yeah. The Big Willy is a giant wicker man. And 8 years ago, we used to put people inside it and we'd burn it as a sacrifice for the crops. But the council said we couldn't do that anymore because we couldn't get the insurance.
He's lying, ladies and gentlemen. That didn't happen. Just so
That's
you know.
why I was worried.
Oh no, you're fine. We don't do that. We don't do that anymore. No.
They never did. Stop it. I mean, like there is a dam, and they might do like baptism weird thing, but
Like,
that's stopped.
I know that's just to figure out who's a witch and that. We chuck them in.
Basically,
If you go down, you're okay. But if you stay up,
yeah.
then into the wicker man.
Sorry, it's fine, Jalen. It's fine. You'll be fine.
I've grown to this, I think.
But
But
the first year it happened, it was really because they had it in the 2 paddocks and next to the apple shed, which they're doing again this year.
And it was loose.
So I've been told. Well, it was kind of like a falls festival. Everyone just parked next to the big stage. And drinking and smoking whatnot, and got really, really muddy, so cars got bogged. And
that's I think I had to get pulled out by a tractor that year.
Yeah,
wow.
it was pretty dicey because as a musician, they just it was just on tap cider the whole weekend. That was a mistake on their part.
It certainly was, isn't it, Joe?
And they changed that the following year very quickly, but it was a mistake to give all the musos on tap cider.
That's not good.
That was a bit,
They still give you half a cup as part of your pay when you play there, I think.
No, they stopped that.
They stopped doing that.
But that was a beautiful thing when they did that. I mean, it did. I'm not a big drinker, so it took me a while to get through that. And Willie Smith's is not that we're getting sponsored.
Strong.
It's top quality cider.
Yeah, it's great.
And Willie Smith's, if you hear this, get in contact.
Get in contact.
Get in contact.
We could mention your name to at least 40 people per podcast.
It's amazing.
It's worth your while.
Business is booming.
So, Rudy.
Rudy, yes.
All right.
So we'll come back.
Should we do Rudy?
Yep.
Let's do Rudy.
Yep. I'm going to remember it, how it goes. I do like this one.
Mm-hmm. Ready? I'm ready.
If your name is Rudy and you hear this, this is a message for you. Wherever you are,
Better think of your future. Time you straighten right out, creating problems in town. Rudy, a message to you, Rudy. A message to you. Stop you fooling around. Time you straighten right out. Better think of your future, else you wind up in jail. Rudy, a message to you, Rudy. A message to you. Growing older each day. Time you think of your future. You might wind up in jail, where you will suffer. Rudy, a message to you, Rudy. 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 A message to Rudy. Come on. A message to you,
Cool. I love that. Now, when we do the podcast, folks, what you can't see is the looks that that Emily gives me. But Jalen just gave the opposite look to Emily in that. So I don't know if you noticed. We fear you, Emily. We fear.
Oh, good. That's how I like it. Really, that's
Is it? Good.
Sure. Come on, don't tell me you don't like people being scared of you with the tall beard look.
Well,
I'm not scared of you, but everyone else,
no, because it only takes a while once you get to know me. But the thing is that's why I'm very tall. I grew a big beard for charity, which
yes.
which is the difference between my beard and Paul's beard. Paul's beard looks good.
Good for vanity, though.
Yeah, but my beard is for money.
Yeah.
And then I thought, you know what would go well with this if I just shave my head.
Yeah, so you just look like
so
a biker.
I just look like a biker, but really, I have trouble standing up, let alone riding a bike.
Yeah.
So, but the first impressions people give you is good, and I just grab that and I ride that as hard as I can.
Fair enough.
As they do.
Yes, they do. Yeah,
I think my first impressions of you were good, I think.
Really?
I can't remember.
I think you met him pre-beard, though. So.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, it was pre-beard. Yeah.
It's interesting that we've got two guests on, but we're just talking about me.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious. How do you manage that?
I don't know.
It's a gift. It's a talent. I have no understanding. What is this? Next podcast is going to be all about me.
All right. Well, we'll need some guests then.
Yep.
Let's get your mum in. Paul, what you've been playing with us? What else have you got going on musically? What you play with Claire Ann Taylor?
I do occasionally. She's now got a different band. I've kind of been given the boot.
Given the boot?
Not really. It's just it's more convenience out lockdown sort of period,
Sure.
which is probably fine. I've got other stuff I need to do. Laser Baby, a neo soul sort of band. So we do a lot of that sort of stuff. I actually get to play the electric bass for that one. And that's about it for the moment, actually.
Okay. Yeah. And so how busy are you? What's your life been like with music? Like after the con, because I know after the con I was like charging hard on the music, and now I've got a full-time job and I'm finding it very difficult. How do you go with it? Because you play in a lot of bands.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was very, very busy straight out of the con because that was before the COVID times in the long ago's. There was
Before times.
there was pretty much gigs, like several gigs every weekend, and it was super, super busy. These days, unfortunately, that didn't quite sustain itself, so I had to get a job. I'm now working pretty much full-time hours and still doing the bands. Like it's a busy life, but I love it. Like I think if I wasn't in so many bands, I'd get bored very, very easily.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think at one point after con, I was in like 8 bands.
Yeah,
I think
it
was
happens
a
so
bit
quickly.
mental.
Too. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, oh, I'll do this filling gig. It's like, oh, let's just keep you in the band. We've got another gig for you. It's like, all right, like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, when I was at the con too, straight out of the con, I was still playing in the metal bands too. So that was extra rehearsals every week and extra gigs, and I do miss that scene a little bit. But it's a lot of hard work for not a lot of
money.
return,
Yes.
not a lot of people at your shows sometimes too.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, it was still fun.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, should we play another song? So
Sure.
that was Sada Masakana and Rudy.
This is number 3.
Yeah.
We can count.
I have trouble. That's
Go
why
us.
I like to reiterate, and I rely on you, the Virgo, to keep
Yes, no
telling.
worries.
Yeah.
Got it. It's all right.
Good.
Number 3.
Good. What do you feel like? What do you want to do?
How about we do Nunshow?
Have you right with Nunshot?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the old Earl Zero tune that was covered by Johnny Clark. It's not a really well-known reggae tune outside of reggae people. Like, it's not as well known as Waiting in Vain and Three
It
Little
should be though,
Birds.
because it's a
It's a
banging
great
tune.
tune.
It's a great tune. It's got great lyrics. I actually really like the lyrics to this one.
And the version that I was most familiar with and introduced me was the Ernest Ranglin one, which was very jazz orientated. So we'll play this tune for you folks and see what you think. What do you think of this tune, Jalen?
I like it.
That's the correct answer.
Correct.
Correct. You may stay.
They're paying me for that answer.
Otherwise, you get the look. You're like, you better say yes,
Oh, yeah,
man.
watch out for the look. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I should have given you a little bell every time Emily gives you the look. You can ring it so the listeners know you're getting the look. Yeah. It's quite
But you look at me waiting for the look too now.
Yeah,
It's like,
no, I'm
it's
like a dog
it's-
now. I'm like, you train me like a dog. So
But you look at me though for cues as well. I was like, dude, figure out yourself. Sometimes I give you mean looks. You're going,
do you hear that? That's what the look sounds like.
Figure it out yourself.
yep. That's my parenting 101. Figure it out yourself. No, really.
All right, shall we begin?
Sure.
None shall escape the judgment.
And this is also on YouTube when we recorded at
Also,
at Pablo's.
yeah, and I should, but not
And Rudy
with
sung.
Rudy sung this one. But I should also point out we've got 2 different arrangements. One when we play with the Swans and one when we play with the Mentolists. So we'll all be looking at Jalen, he'll be looking at us, wondering if he's getting the look, but we'll be looking at him for a look.
Yes. For the record, I actually don't play with the Mentolists, so that's why we have
Yeah.
2 different versions. So
All right.
this will be fun. So which one are we going to do?
The
Obviously,
This is the
Mentalist
podcast version.
podcast version.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
Oh gosh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Jump, jumpy, jump, jumpy, 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 jump, jumpy, jump, jumpy, jump, jumpy, 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 jump. None shall escape the judgment in this time. These words I sing to all mankind. None shall escape the judgment in this time. These words I sing to all mankind. Arise, black man, Jehovah has come forward into Babylon to declare equal rights and justice among the heathen.
Yes, the weak heart must fall, only the righteous shall stand in this congregation of King Jehovah.
Oh, anything just say, I'll always do. Anything just say, I'll always do. 'Cause I love Jah. I love him. jum. Yes, the weak heart must fall. Only the righteous shall stand in this congregation. Our kings are Lord. Yes, the weak heart must fall. Only the righteous shall stand in this congregation of King Jehovah.
That was the podcast version of L0's non-cellist
Yeah.
featuring Jalen Sutcliffe on vocals.
Well done. You looked a bit of panic.
I can hear it sleeping.
I was so I just didn't know if that was the right place.
I didn't
I was following you.
I
Felt
just
good.
followed you. Going,
Keeps you on your toes.
it does.
You know, that sort of stuff. So my advice to Jalen is always just go forth like you are correct.
Definitely.
But in that song, you've added a lyric, haven't you? You've added the word
No.
Jumbe.
Yeah,
you
Jumbi.
don't- yeah?
So it's a word from far north Queensland that's like
Can you now? Your mum's going to be listening to this podcast. Is that okay? just
it's
so-
perfect. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's from where like Shanice is from.
Oh yeah.
But it's just like another word for like what? Wait, are we allowed? It's
Oh,
another
absolutely.
word
Yeah, it's my podcast. We can say what the hell we like.
For
I can just bleep it out if it gets too heavy.
for dick.
Oh,
penis.
geez, that was
It's
the word.
another
Come on,
word.
bit of
So,
warning.
Jumbi, that's what Jumbi means. So
Oh,
Penis.
when
Penis.
we sing it, that's
Yeah.
what we just sing. It's probably bad that we do that because of the context of the song, but
Yeah.
we just thought it was funny to do it once because there was a lot of wider audience.
And they were straight over their heads. I don't get it. They
And
go,
it went
"Yay,
straight over
Jumbi!"
their heads, and we one gig we got them to sing it with us, and so they all started singing, but they didn't know what they were singing about.
Oh wow!
So
No, they're
we
all singing.
found it, and I think Shanice had FaceTimed her mum from when she was in the audience.
Really?
So it was a fun time. We thought it was.
How did her mum take that?
I'm pretty sure she said she loved it. So
Right. She said, "What do you know? What's thinking about that?"
Well,
Ah!
it actually kind of works with the riff, but it's and that was really funny.
So we like let the band know about it, and then we didn't tell the crowd what it meant. So
Yeah, we were in on the joke too. That was beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I'm all for that. I'm all
That's
for
great.
that.
Now that
Because there's a legend that Moomba, which is the American festival, which I think in some watered down, perverted, anglicised way was translated as fun time or something or party. But then they tried to get the Moomba celebration happening up in Sydney, but up there it meant stick it up your bum. So we'll have a up your ass festival in Sydney, whereas in Melbourne it's a fun time festival. Yeah.
Appropriate for Sydney because it is a bit.
Oh, God,
Cheers.
topical.
Hopefully, there's not too many Sydney listeners out there either.
and
Well-
if there is, pull it out your ass.
Oh. Come on
but
now.
We the biggest listenership we have is not in Tasmania.
No, it's abroad. It's Germany and
Yeah.
France.
Canada.
That's interesting.
Canada?
How like
We even
Yeah.
won
you
in
try to get
Antarctica.
local audiences, but it's like
I think it's
the world.
a classic Australian thing. We're just not interested in our own produce. It's weird.
Mm.
And I'm going through that at the moment with the work I do as a music teacher. My introduction was great. Oh, you're fantastic. Music's great. We want the kids to learn music. Rah rah. And then you start running into a program. It's like not like that. Can you just get them to sing songs? Like, So I think that music in Australia is looked at like a puppy. Great on holiday cards. Great for Christmas. But the reality of a puppy is commitment and practice.
Tell me about it. I teach violin and cello to primary school kids.
Yeah. And I think
That could be a challenge on days.
does the big for me the biggest friction comes from the upper staff and non-musical parents, which
Yeah.
filters down into the culture.
Yeah,
in
it
the
does,
classroom.
because they just sort of think it. They just don't quite get the. Well, they actually don't understand how special it is to have music at a school, be taught music, as well as be taught something specialised, like having a music teacher who's an instrumentalist who is still gigging, hasn't like.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get, teachers in the room that haven't been on the job for like 30 years, and so and they're a little bit out of context, but like.
Yeah.
But, it's kind of a little frustrating because I don't quite see the unique and specialty of it to have it at a school and be taught it. Because, there are schools that lost music programs. They don't even have music anymore, or they have instruments locked away in the cupboard. It's a real special thing. So it's a bit nice if they just didn't think it happens overnight.
Well, it's a cultural thing, I think, for mainstream Australians. We just and this is what I think. We're getting to get political here, but this is what I think.
Look out! Warning, listeners. Political.
Australians, on the whole, in general. Now, I know we live in a bubble, listeners. I know you are great music supporters and lovers, but think about it. We live in a bubble as musicians. Outside that bubble, the reaction to music is quite hostile, and I think it's because we are a colonial country, and music tells the truth. It tells the truth without words. A truth that cannot be denied. And that's something that I think white Australia can't hear. It just sends them crazy. We don't want to hear that we're the bad guys. We don't want to hear. See, what I mean is that you got sports, you got music. Okay, sports tells about victory, right? So, for example, who won the 400 metres in the 2000 Olympics? Kathy Freeman. Everyone knows, right? Who came fourth? I don't know. Is their story not as powerful as Kathy's? Whereas music tells the story of those who have lost and tells the story of those who have been ripped off, taken advantage of, treated unjustly, as much as it does the other way, you know. And so I think that's why white Australians have this instinct in their background that when music starts, the first thing they do is come over and say, "Excuse me, do you have a license to busk here? Excuse me, is what you're doing, has it been checked?" Or are you just singing freely? Because if you're singing freely, someone might get the wrong message. And so I think that's the core of the problem. Now, you might disagree with me, Jalen, and have a different perspective, but it pisses me off.
Yeah, no, it does. Well, that's sort of why we started doing this podcast, because we wanted to promote Tasmanian folk music.
And we failed. Abject failure.
We didn't
we?
fail. Season 3, Carl. It's not a failure.
Yeah, but I thought we'd have a book deal and a movie by now.
Well, we're working on it, but it's something about your look. I think it's the beard that sets off people.
Really,
I don't know.
Not the personality. No, not even.
I think you asked the producer what year they were born, and then they got really spooked. Yeah. So you've got to stop doing that when you meet strangers.
Well, can I just ask them where their moon is?
No, I think it still freaks out people. Still freaks out people.
Well.
On that note, should we do another song?
Yeah. Was that too political? Was that all right?
That's all right. You've had worse tangents, so.
Have I?
Yes. Listen back.
I will listen back.
That's all right. I'll steer you back.
You know what I miss?
What? Many things.
When I go back to listen to season 1.
Yes.
The sound effects.
Yeah, I miss the Steve Gadbot.
Yeah.
We should bring that back.
I can bring it back right now.
You could bring it back.
All right. Let me just hang on. I'll just go over to the cupboard.
Yep, oh yeah.
All right, cool. Here it is.
Yep.
Let me just blow the cobwebs off. Okay.
Oh, he's a bit rusty.
He's a bit rusty. It's going to squeak. I'll turn it on here. Right, I'll just turn the. Oh, hang on, I've got to crank the shaft first. I've got to prime the engine.
Okay, careful.
All right, now press the on button. All right, now the Steve Gadbot's running.
Whoa, is it meant to be what?
No,
it's meant to make that sound.
I think there's a reason why we didn't do sound effects. Let me just turn it off.
That would have been a really big mess to clean up afterwards.
Now these guys in the studio are going, what? All will be. That will make sense.
Yep.
When you listen back.
When you listen back and listen to season 1 with you understand what we mean.
That's what I miss. Yeah.
Well, we have to bring it back.
Do you know what I also miss? Because now we've got Twitter and all that. Do you remember before they had mobile phones, right? If we wanted to have a tweet or a message, we had to actually get a bit of clay, get a stick, write the cuniform in it, bake the clay, and that was your tweet.
You're older than me, so I just remember using the landline.
Yeah, we had 10 commandments. It was easy. We only had 10 commandments.
Yeah.
Now we've got 600-page disclosure forms we have to sign.
I know.
No one reads those.
I know. See what I mean? Just keep it to 10 simple commandments. Don't play this song. Don't think about this song. Don't ever reproduce this song.
Just don't do it.
Just shut up. Sit down. Shut up. Sit down. No dancing. Stop laughing. This is serious music.
Yep. That's all we say at every
That's how it
gig.
used to be.
Yeah.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the meaning of life.
I think we should sing another song.
Virgo, what are we up to?
Number 4.
Number 4. All right.
Yep.
What should we sing? Whose choice?
Choir Girl.
Oh.
Yes.
You like this one?
Yes.
I do like this one.
I think we know the arrangement too.
Ooh, I think it's in a key and it does notes.
It's in C, and then it goes to...
Was this the one you forgot at the gig the other day?
yeah.
I missed that.
I tried to play it at the gig, and my mind just went, no.
And you've done that face expression, go, what's going on?
No, it was more sort of it had more panic in it, actually, that face expression, yeah. That
Okay.
on the day.
Like, have I really forgotten?
Yeah, am I having a stroke? That's what I thought. I thought, is this what happens? Is this happening now?
Why
Was
do I
that a-
smell burning toast?
Is
Was that a rectangle gig or
my
something?
granddad warned me about?
Oh, dear.
My granddad used to say, it's a bugger getting old. I'll tell you, it's a bugger getting old. And I thought, oh, joy. Thanks.
I think we should just keep pushing through. This is my Virgo-ness. Let's keep
Let's
going.
go. Choir Girl, let's go.
Let's
So this is the Cold Chisel Choir Girl that I thought one day would make a really beautiful ska reggae song. But we're going to play it now in the ska reggae mento bluegrass style, using Australian chords.
Australian chords. Australian approved chords.
Looking like a quiet girl. She's crying like a refugee. Oh, looking like a quiet girl. She's crying like a refugee. One nurse to hold her. One nurse to wheel her down the corridors of healing. And I've been trying, but she's crying like a refugee. Loves me like a sister. She loves me like an only child. Oh, loves me like a sister. She loves me like an only child. She's my connection. See, I hold on and never, never, never let her down. 'Cause she's alone and she's crying like a refugee. And the little children send a little child to me. Oh, Dave, the doctor, handles his responsibility. Oh, looking like a quiet girl. She's crying like a refugee. Oh, looking like a quiet girl. She's crying like a refugee. She's my connection. See, I hold on and never, never, never let her down. 'Cause she's alone and she's crying like a refugee. She's crying like a refugee. She's crying like a refugee.
That was the podcast version. How are you finding it, Jalen?
We're getting through. We're getting through, ladies and gentlemen. Holy
Yeah.
moly.
So kind of the
Yeah.
idea, you don't feel too bad because the idea is that this is like a casual sit around session and we can.
Well, that's pretty much what it is.
what it is. Yeah. It's sitting
in my lounge room,
casually.
hanging out.
Yeah. So if you want the high polished studio version of this, folks,
You have to pay us for that.
You have to pay us for that.
Yeah.
Costs
This
a
is a very casual singing, they said today, so not to strain myself too
Not
much.
at all. No,
No,
don't do
no.
that. Yeah.
It's fun.
But if you imagine how it's going to be when it's for real,
Yeah.
And when you're there in person.
you
Yeah.
can reach up and touch them,
Well, not too close.
not too close, and sanitize your hands
Sanitize your hands.
before you touch my beard, please.
Particularly.
As long as you ask for consent,
Yeah.
I'll probably say yes.
Most
You have to
likely.
sign a waiver to come into our gig.
Yes. So now at this point we should probably. So the idea with this season 3 was we were going to document the progress of the album.
Yes.
How much have we progressed this month?
Well,
Not a
did we
huge
contact
amount.
the person about the recording studio, which was your
Yeah,
job?
yeah, it was my job.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Didn't-
No.
And
no.
my job, which I half did, I just haven't emailed bass player and
Yeah.
Randall the charts yet. But they've said
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we've got to
That's a start.
pick that up. But my issue that I'm finding now is that work is extremely hectic.
Of course.
And last week was particularly hectic. And also I got a new car
Yes, you got a new car.
because
Oh.
not out of joy. It was out of necessity. I was forced into this by my old car,
Yeah.
who had decided to get a divorce.
Yeah, well, it died,
It died.
didn't it? Your car died.
So I had to
basically.
buy it. It was dying. It was head
Was that-
cancer.
Sad time.
So instead of looking at nursing it back to health, I just thought, you're out. See ya. Next.
Yeah. Cut the
Brutal.
lines.
But you got a hybrid, right? You got a fancy
I
hybrid
did get
car.
a fancy car, yeah. But it took a
Ooh.
lot of shandangling. I had to go to the bank, had to deal with this, had to do that. So I had to take 15 minutes off one day of school to go to the bank.
Were you?
Drawn over the coals? Yes, I
Oh,
was.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Look, and I had to say to them, look, do you want me to be at school regularly on time every morning? Because if we just spend this week, give me a little bit of leeway on this week, and I promise
Yeah,
I'll be...
because you'll get to school
I'll
because
get
you
to
have
school.
a car.
'Cause right now it's literally a wing and a prayer. Well, maybe not literally. It's figuratively a wing and a prayer.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, at least you got your car now.
It's a bit fancy than... I like these new hybrids, these new Fandangle cars. They take away all the control from you.
Yeah.
So-
Well, it'd be a push button start, wouldn't it?
It's a push button start, and I cannot get
Ooh.
used to that. I jump in the car, pull out the keys. Oh no, wait! I press the button. It goes.
Yeah.
Hello, Carl. Where would you like to go today?
Does it really?
No.
I was like, holy shit, that's...
Well, it could.
You
I
could.
mean,
I reckon if you programmed it, you could.
I could get the app update, and it will do that. But at the moment, it doesn't.
I just turned mine on and it says Bluetooth connected. And that's as far as mine goes.
Mine says nothing. I feel sad. I feel left out. Paul.
Warp
Mine
core
says
engaged.
nothing.
Why
Mine's a
do
snob.
Speaks aggressively at me because they haven't got enough petrol in it.
Really?
Pretty much.
Because I used to turn mine on. It used to go. What, man? Just give me another 15 minutes.
Oh, you poor Subi.
I know, she was such a good girl.
Aw.
The first time I got that car was the day before I had to do a gig in Adelaide with a band called Zep Tepi.
Yeah.
G'day, Phil Dean, if you're listening.
Led Zeppelin.
No, Zep Tepi.
Oh,
Yeah,
kind
he's-
of like Led Zeppelin, but much less. Much less. And the first time I filled it up with petrol, it was only like a 45-litre tank or something, and my previous car was quite a big tank.
Yeah.
And so sometimes those old things, they put you to get the splashback,
Yeah.
but they get the splashback like as soon as you start because of the shape of the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, come on. And I had to go, and it was actually telling me, no, I'm absolutely full. And then I gave it a big squirt, and all this petrol come out. I wasted like $10 of petrol just trying to fill it up. So that was our first
Special.
date. That was our first mission, me and
Right.
the Subi. And it was a beautiful car, and now it's dead.
magic.
Well, hopefully this one will.
I was quite sentimental
Yeah.
giving it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like that when I sold my first car. I had it for 10 years, and I was very sad to see it go. I saw it in town. I got very excited to the point and it
Really?
got distracted.
Hey,
It's like, it's
hey! And it just went, oh, it's like, hi, awkward, hi.
Hi, please stop following me.
Yeah.
You really should stop following the lady who bought it. No, really. I don't. That's weird. No, I don't.
Have we talked about anything constructive today? Have we?
No.
Have we figured out our guests enough?
When do we ever talk anything?
But I mean, we've sorted you out.
we've talked
We
about
know
you
who
a
you are
lot
and what you
today.
do. We know who you are and we know what Paul does and what he does.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we've missed?
You're looking at me.
Well, because I spent a lot of time talking about myself, I kind of got distracted.
That's all right. That's fine. I'm used to it. I just let you go.
That's all I mean, to be honest, it's all I've got to go on.
I know. Got to let you have your moment. Otherwise, you get all upset, you know. And
Really?
Yeah.
Hasn't filled the quota for the day.
Yeah.
I get home, I was like, oh, there was 15 minutes there I could have gone on about.
Let me just edit it in
Yeah,
now.
I'll squeeze that in.
Okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
Well, it's all good.
So
We should maybe talk about some upcoming gigs. So we're playing next Friday for Rectango Black Swanza.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Next Friday.
come along. You're welcome to
Friday.
come along and jump in on a couple of numbers.
Yeah, you should.
Oh.
I can't pay you, but
But it's good exposure.
Oh, look, I mean,
no, we'll sort something out if you show up. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
next Friday.
Yeah, but we should get on to recording stuff, like talk to the person at the studio.
Make it an absolute priority this week. Now I have a new car. I can just scoot
Yeah.
down there in 15 minutes.
Yeah, we should do that.
So we've got that one, and then after that,
Then we have Dark Mofo, and we have this
so the Dark Mofo,
special gig with Jalen,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
also the
Yeah.
other reason why he's here with us today.
because we're going to do a rehearsal after this podcast
Yes.
when we do serious
Yes.
music.
Yeah.
So that will be the setup that you see on YouTube. If you go into Black Swans of Trespass, CC Thornley, the lockdown sessions, or just search Jalen Sutcliffe, you'll come up with a video of kind of what we're going to be delivering at the pod at Dark Mofo. We also have in the pod at Dark Mofo a quartet Black Swans of Trespass will be playing there. The electro folk funk folk.
Are we doing that Thursday,
Band?
Friday, like 16th, 17th?
I think so, but I'm very vague on dates. But I'm sure
Yeah, I know
people
you are.
can, as Adam Bant once
It'll be
said,
in the program.
Google it, mate.
Yeah, it'll be the program.
And then we have on the main stage on the Sunday the glorious Mentolists
Yes.
with Jalen in full regalia, band there in uniform.
We are in full uniform now.
We are,
We are.
yeah.
Yes,
so
I
if
like
you-
your suit.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty
Thank
cool.
you. It does. I do like it.
You do?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Gets into the mode.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Really?
That's
I'm
the same with
Just
Swans.
rocking up with random clothing on now. So
And look, that's been one of the things I discovered about band uniforms is if you do have the band uniform, when you put it on, there is a whole ritual to it, and then you go out and you know you're going to mean business, and it just adds a little bit to the
Yeah.
performance.
Every Swans gig, everyone always mentions, "Oh, it's so nice to see you all matching." Like
Nobody mentions the music. They said, "Well, you look fine. Your clothes are great."
They mention the music and then they say the clothes and then they go, "Have you ever thought of coming to the mainland?" We all just roll our eyes, going, "Oh, piss off." Oh, you should have come to Melbourne. And then Carl just has like this look of, "I'm going to kill you." So
Yeah.
it's like,
Because I was on the mainland.
mention the
You didn't
mainland
come
to
to my
us.
gigs at all. And now I'm in Tasmania going, "Oh, you should come to Melbourne. You'll be really..."
Or worse, when they give you a shocked look when you say, yeah, we're locals.
yeah.
Yeah, you have what? Good music.
I hate that. I so hate that.
Yeah, that's
It's-
your bugbear,
I
isn't
know.
it?
Like,
You're just a lowly Tasmanian. What would you know about high-class music?
I always remember when I went to a folk camp back when I was 18.
Here we go,
and it was
folk.
like,
folk camp.
well, yeah, like it was called, what was it called? Celtic Under the Stars. It was like this
That's cool.
Celtic camp in Victoria. I can't remember where it was though. But,
Yarra Valley? Was it at Yarra Junction?
Possibly. It was a long time ago, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I got a scholarship, right? And to go, and I was like, sure, okay, whatever. I was in the masterclass, and I was like, cool. And I found it really easy. And they were all kind of like, why are you finding this so easy? Because I had already been playing violin, I don't know, over 10 years by
really
that
easy?
point.
You're a Tasmanian.
10 years, and I was about to audition for the con, right, to do classical violin. So I was like, you know, my skills were up there, and I had a really good ear. So like they were teaching stuff by ear, thinking, oh, you might find this difficult. It's the masterclass. I'm like, I think I'll be all right. And I honestly just like smashed through it, and they're all kind of giving this weird look. Nobody really talked to me, and Luke Plum was at that camp, and they all were kind of, and Luke Plum's from Tassie as well, so he chatted to me, but yeah, they just thought Tassie was like just a bunch of like hillbilly hicks, you know.
Yeah. Look,
Didn't-
don't sweat it,
didn't do
because when I
much.
was in the folk scene in Victoria,
Yeah.
and I was from Victoria, and I was in the folk scene, they wouldn't speak to me either. It's just, I don't know what it is about them.
But look, you know, I went, and the main reason why I went, like I did learn some cool tunes,
Yeah.
you know, met some people who did talk to me, were nice, but I was also really shy because I was, you know, new to it. But
So
like,
maybe it was you.
I was shy. That doesn't mean I was mean. Like just because I'm good.
It was the easy masterclass.
Just because I'm good at my violin doesn't make me, like I worked hard. Like, maybe talk to me and go, hey, you're doing this really good job. Like, tell us about yourself instead of when I said I played Tassie tunes.
Yeah.
They bagged me out because I played Tassie tunes. Going, it's not trad Scottish or Irish. I'm like, well,
No, it's trad
it's
Taz.
still music.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you
don't
in Scotland?
bag it out.
Are you in Ireland?
Yeah,
No.
but then the following year, I went to the National Folk Festival because when you went to that camp, you got a free entry to go to the folk festival, right? It was kind of that's why I kind of went to get a free entry in, and I'd switched to contemporary by that point at the con. Somehow they found out.
Oh.
So when I went, they were all talk to me because they were like, you're at the con, you're doing contemporary violin. I said, yeah, I did classical last year. I was already there. And they were like, oh. And they put me in we had to still play in the orchestra. They put me right at the back because they were playing a tune that I couldn't play. And I just play along anyway because I learned it by ear. So it's very much like, oh, no, you're from there. You're going to be that level.
Yeah. You get that on the mainland a lot.
Oh, it was very frustrating. And then when I went to the jam session, I did gypsy jazz. And everyone's like, oh, where are you from? Tassie. Whoa. It's like, yeah. And I said, what I say is like, there's very good musos in Tassie. If you come down, have a look,
Yeah.
Do you remember that time we were in a bluegrass festival?
Yeah, that was fun.
And there were a lot of guys there who just like, well, nothing happens in Tassie. We were doing multiple gigs every weekend and more than they could ever imagine.
I just laughed because I remember we were jamming and every time it was my fiddle solo, I was like, oh, such a good fiddle player. And Carl was like, no, she's my fiddle player. You can't have her.
What about my solos? I'm soloing too.
No, but they were all.
Can any of you play an F without a capo?
They
I
were
don't think so.
Yeah, that was funny. They were all asking me to come to Melbourne, and Carl was like, "No, she's mine." It was very funny.
They all asked me to go home. Yeah.
Well, they did that was fun actually. But yeah, it's always.
Then we went to Melbourne.
Yeah, we did.
And we did those gigs.
Yeah.
And not one single one of them came. And do you know what I know that you don't know?
What?
They lived around the bloody corner.
That's even worse.
Yeah, Melbourne.
That's
Anyway, we'll end this podcast on a positive note, folks. You suck. We're good. We're in the masterclass. You suck.
And the masterclass is easy.
Yeah.
It's an easy masterclass.
It was the easy masterclass. It wasn't the hard one.
No.
Remedial masterclass.
No, it was the hard one. Like top.
Oh, what's the hard one now?
Top Scottish fiddle player in Australia was taking it, and it was the hard one. And I was like,
top
this
Scottish
is easy.
fiddler in Australia. Do you know what? I'd like to see the top Australian fiddler in Scotland. I'd like to see that bloke.
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh, look out.
So we've got one more song because we're up to 4 songs, folks. So this is it. We'll play one more song and then we'll leave you alone. We've ear-bashed you enough. We've glorified and stroked our egos to the point of complete culmination.
I think we'll be good for another month now.
What are we going to play in this last... What's the last tune we're going to play?
What is the last one? What did you say before?
I did say Madness, but there was another one because you don't know.
54.
5446.
5446.
Okay. That's the Toots and the Maytals famous tune. We'll see how we go with that.
I like this one.
So I just want to say thank you very much to our very special guest, Jalen Sutcliffe, coming down.
Thank you for having me.
You got a website or anything? Instagram?
I am on Instagram.
MySpace?
On Instagram, Jalen_Sutcliffe.
Right on.
JALEN. There's no Y in there, no I, but there is my name.
Right.
There's no me in there either, but I tried to. So it's Jalen_Sutcliffe on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. TikTok. TikTok's out there. I do love a good TikTok.
Your TikToks are hilarious.
Jalen's TikToks are superb. You need to see them. Yeah.
So I do love doing all that stuff. But yeah, I'm on those socials. So
awesome.
Hit me up.
And Paul, where can we find your work? Laser Baby.
Laser Baby is on Facebook and Instagram. I'm pretty sure that's just Laser Baby at Laser Baby. You can find the glorious Claire Ann Taylor on Facebook as well. You can.
Haven't you got your business?
Oh yes, my clothing brand as well. If you look at IX Lives Clothing, IX Lives, as in 9 lives with Roman numerals, because I'm edgy like that.
Yeah.
Oof.
You'll see some menacing cats.
Yeah, they're cool. I've got a T-shirt. It's awesome.
We all had to have a T-shirt. It was in the contract.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a good T-shirt.
Yeah, it's great.
Check it out, folks.
All right. 5446.
Listen to me, mister.
Yeah, let's do it.
all giving Jalen the look at this point, folks. Everyone's giving him the look. So we didn't do the video today, but we're giving him the look. If you listen very carefully, you'll see the look.
I said, yeah. Oh.
Sorry, wait. That's just.
Do you want to do? Where are you going from?
Well. Stick it up, mister.
Yeah. Nice and cash.
Ooh.
Nice and cash.
This is casual.
We can edit that out.
But we won't. We have the power, but we choose not to.
I'm exposed here today, ladies and gentlemen.
Stick it up, mister. Can you hear what I'm saying now? Get your hands in the air, sir. And you will get no hurt from me, Mr. No. Now I said, yeah. Listen what they say. Can you hear me say, no, no. Listen what they say. Do you believe I would do such a thing to me and give it to a policeman? I wouldn't do that. Oh no, I wouldn't do that. And if I do that, I would say, sir, come on and put the charge on me. I wouldn't do that. Oh no, I wouldn't do that. Now I'm not a fool to hurt myself, so I was innocent of what they done to me. Now I was wrong. Oh yeah, I was wrong. You give it to me one time. Boy, you give it to me 2 times. You give it to me 3 times. You give it to me 4 times. 54, 46 was my number. And right now, someone else has my number. Oh yeah, 54, 46 was my number. And right now, someone else has my number. One more time, 54, 46 was my number. And right now, someone else has my number. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. To me 2 times. You give me. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. 54, 46 was my number. Right now, someone else has my number. Oh yeah, 54, 46 was my number. Right now, someone else has my number. One more time, 54, 46 was my number. And right now, someone else has my number. Oh yeah, you give it to me one time.
Yeah, nice.
That's good. That's good. You feeling the pressure?
Oh, always. Pressure for all these songs today.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Wolfe and Thorn podcast. Thanks again for tuning, and we'll get back to the album next month. I swear to God, I promise.
We promise. And it won't be all about Carl either.
We hope you've enjoyed this little side quest. Episode 3, the side quest.
The side quest. It was a good side quest. It was nice.
It was lovely. Yeah, it was great. It was good having Paul on the show because he's like
it's about time.
The shadow in the darkness finally emerges.
Well, here's the engine room,
that is
really.
my MO.
Thanks for coming on, Paul. Thank you, Jalen.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you all these months. been great.
Well, just this month. The time before that was
I was going to say
rubbish.
years. It's been what, 3 or 2, 3, 2, 4, 1.
Don't bother counting. You're not good with numbers. We talked
Anything,
about
look,
this.
anything more than 4
Yeah, you're
is
lost.
5.
Anyway, we'll see you next month, listeners. Please come back.
My name's been CC Thornley. I played the banjo.
And I've been Emily Wolfe playing the fiddle.
Hooroo! Hooroo now.